Joining me now is Texas Congressman Troy Nehls. He's a member of the House Transportation and Judiciary Committees. He's also a former Texas sheriff. Congressman, thanks very much for being here this morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
You sent a second letter to Mayorkas. You're demanding information about the Venezuelan prisoners entering the United States. This is a subject that I'm very concerned with because I know that there is a gang from Venezuela right now running around New York, stealing people's purses and attacking people. Tell me what you want to know about these prisoners from Venezuela.
Well, I sent a letter back in September of 2022 to Secretary Mayorkas expressing concerns about the reports that we've heard from the Border Patrol that Venezuela was sending in, rapists, murderers, emptying their jails, their prisons, and sending their bad hombres. Remember now what Trump said a long time ago. He said they're not going to send us their best. They're going to send us their worst. And he's right again. So we've seen an increase in Venezuelans entering our southern border. And with the parole provisions we have with this administration, they're sprinkled, they're released into our communities. And thus we have individuals, innocent victims like Miss Riley, being murdered by these thugs. So I sent that letter. I asked him 10 questions, this administration, and you never hear from him. You never heard from him. And so this administration has blood on their hands. I sent another letter now just this week, seeing if the administration would reach out to us and explain what's happening with these individuals. Over 500,000 Venezuelans had entered our southern border in the past 3 years. I don't expect to hear anything.
Well, it's just unbelievable. What is the motivation here? Why would he be okay, Joe Biden, be okay with Venezuela emptying their prisons and sending these people here? I don't understand why this would be okay. This gang in New York called Tren de Aragua, they have these specific tattoos that are showing that they're part of the gang. This is incredibly dangerous.
It's dangerous, and the American people are paying for it because this administration puts the American people last. Listen, we've had millions of people coming up through Latin America, Mexico. They're coming from across the entire globe. The problem you have with the Venezuelans is Maduro, the president. He's releasing these individuals. These prisoners are infiltrating these caravans on the way up, but there's no way for us to check who they are. And Maduro has made it very clear he doesn't want them back. So if you're brought into this country from Venezuela and you're arrested in this country like Mr. Ibarra, that murderous thug, right, we can't send them back. We can't send them back because Maduro says, I don't want them. You can't send them back to Venezuela, and Cuba doesn't want them either. So we've got a problem here.
Yeah. You can't send them back to China
repatriate.
China will not repatriate their people either. And I'm wondering, again, what the motivation is, because no one in their right mind would open up America to prisoners and let these people go and do the things that we're reporting on, like murder of Laken Riley. I got a text yesterday from a friend who told me that she was waiting at a food truck in Queens, and she was approached by two people who looked like they were illegal, two Spanish-speaking people. One of them had tattoos all over his face. And they said to her, hi, miss, do you want to sign up to be a Democrat and vote? So, is this what they're doing? Are they putting these migrants to work to try to engage people to become Democrat voters? What the heck is the motivation?
Yeah. No, that's exactly what it is. This administration has allowed millions of people over the last 3 years to enter our southern border, and it's all by design. I have a book on it, Borderless by Design. It's all about the amnesty claims. We get them into our country, and then the naturalization mills start clicking. You all of a sudden now offer these people citizenship, and it's all about one-party rule. That's what this is about. This is by design. It's not by accident. The administration knows in the long game, these individuals that have come across the southern border are going to remember the party that brought them here. And the long-term goal is, of the Democrats, eventually give these individuals citizenship, and then it's one-party rule forever. They did this under Boss Tweed in the 1800s when the people were coming through, and they started just making these individuals citizens each and every day, more and more citizens, and they vote Democrat. It's by design, Maria. This isn't by accident.
Good piece by the Federalist yesterday. 9 ways the feds are using Biden bucks to rig the 2024 election. That's something that everybody should look at. But I want to ask you about the national security threat here and look at what is going on between the relationship between China and the Biden family. Because the transcript of Hunter Biden's deposition was released yesterday. I'm going to get to that in a moment. But let me just tell you what the Washington Times is reporting. The Washington Times, breathtaking Stratcom general warns of China's expansion of nuclear weapons. China is becoming more dangerous by the day. And yet, we've got this business that we're learning more about between the Biden family and the CCP. Hunter's transcript was released. He is still claiming that his father was never involved in his business deals, despite admitting that he would put Joe Biden on speakerphone with his business associates, and that he invited his father, Joe Biden, then vice president, to drop by several of his business lunches. Hunter also admitted that he and a business partner were not able to invest in CCP-linked investment fund until then Vice President Biden flew to Beijing on Air Force Two on official business and met with Hunter's business partners. So they weren't even allowed to do the deal. China would not do the deal until they actually had FaceTime with Joe Biden, Congressman. What did you learn in that meeting yesterday, in that testimony from Hunter Biden?
What we learned yesterday is everything that the Republicans have said for the past year and a half, 2 years, is that this Biden family is compromised and they're corrupt. We all know who the big guy is. America knows who the big guy is. It's Joe Biden. We know they have personally profited from the relationships not only with China, but with Ukraine, with Hunter being on the board of Burisma. We know that Joe Biden used his influence to fire the prosecutor looking into Burisma, Mr. Shokin, Victor Shokin. So everybody knows, the American people know. So we have exposed this family. They're corrupt, right? And the American people know about it. They truly do. They know what's taking place here.
Well, who else is compromised in Congress? I mean, who else is getting paid by China? I want to know. Because I don't understand why we never respond to any of the aggression. We allowed a surveillance balloon to travel the country for almost a week before it was shot down. There was no, accountability for COVID leaking from the Wuhan lab, and then a massive cover-up by the CCP. Not to mention the years and years of intellectual property theft. How about the fentanyl flowing? Now, Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell announced he's stepping down as Republican leader in November. Texas Senator John Cornyn officially announcing he wants the job. He's running to replace McConnell. Congressman, your thoughts on this, and what changes without McConnell in the lead of the Senate?
Well, I think the most important issue right now, I think, for the Republican Party is to make sure we do everything we can to get the White House back, and that's with Donald J. Trump. Now, Mitch McConnell said he's not going to seek re-election. He'll be done in November. Whether you have Senator Cornyn, Thune, you're going to have others that are going to want that position. But I believe that Donald J. Trump will play a significant role in who the next leader is in the Senate, and rightfully so. He should, because Donald Trump will be our president. He will be the 47th president, and he's going to want to damn well make sure that whoever is leading the charge in the Senate understands Donald Trump and his policies to make America great again. All
right, we will leave it there. Congressman, it's good to see you. We'll be watching your work. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Congressman Troy Nehls in Washington. Stay with us. We'll be right back.